Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. We are live. We are chatting. We are not fooling. April Fools is so stupid. The internet, it's the worst day to be on Twitter. You know what the worst one is? Welcome in. The next hour or so, this is your time. Questions, comments, concerns, get them in the chat right now. We'll go through them. I'll start with weather. I'll go to one and done. Talk about contests. Talk about a giveaway. We'll go through all your questions. We'll do all that stuff. Go ahead, get them in. Fire away, fire away. You know what the worst is? One, most of the April Fool's tweets are not funny. These brands are like, you know, it's like the hello fellow students meme, right? That one, like, it's the worst. Most of them are not funny. And some of them, this is the worst case scenario. Some of them are actually good ideas for the business that they will never follow through on. And it's like, wow, that's sick. That is something that really applies to the business. That would be widely popular. Like, you should do that. And they don't. It would be like if MLB.TV was like, yeah, we got rid of blackouts. You can watch any baseball game from anywhere. April Fools, be like, well, you just reminded us that your product stinks. And you won't give us that thing that you wanted to give us. All right. Anyway, welcome in. So we're talking Valero. We'll probably do a lot of one and done. Hell, we might do a little bit of Masters stuff, but we're going to start with the weather. San Antonio looks like it might be a touch wet. Thunderstorms over the weekend. Chance of rain on Thursday morning. I'm not great at figuring out a forecast, but I'll do my best. To me, the wind appears to be kicking up late Thursday, probably later than impactful, mostly Thursday evening as opposed to Thursday afternoon, overnight, and then a more stiff wind up to 20 miles an hour on Friday afternoon. We combine that with the potential annoying rain on Thursday morning and the probable worse wind on Friday afternoon. I think I prefer Thursday PM, Friday AM. Not a lot, 65-35, something like that. But definitely more than 50-50, but it's not a full-on like wave split. I think that's just what I would prefer. I'm not going to go out of my way to make lineups with 5 or 6, but yeah, I might lean on the Thursday PM, Friday morning guys a little bit. Because that's what I see. That's what I see right now. The one and done selections for this week. So I'm looking at the projected ownership or the projected popularity, which is a 4-dot system that Pool Genius uses. And I don't think I agreed with them last week. I do think I agree very much that Jordan Spieth is going to be the most popular one and done selection. He's playing better golf coming into this. He's got the best course history here. You're not going to use him anywhere else. Totally get it. After that, they are saying Sepp Straka, Sudarshan Yelamaraju, Keith Mitchell in the next tier. I do not think Sudarshan Yelamaraju is going to be at the same popularity as Sepp Straka and Keith Mitchell. I do think Sepp Straka and Keith Mitchell will be popular. I would probably swap. I think McNeely and Fowler will be higher than Sudarshan Yelamaraju. That's my opinion. And then I think most people are going to just kind of go there. Yeah, maybe they go to Robert McIntyre. Maybe they go to Rio Hisatsune. Maybe they go to Denny McCarthy. A little bit on Michael Thorbjornsen. But I do think there's kind of the big 4 or 5 here. Spieth in a tier of his own. Sepp, Keith, Maverick, Ricky, next tier. Next tier is probably McIntyre, Denny, Thorbjornsen. Something like that. And then tiny trace amounts of the rest of the players. 2 big, actually, I guess you could argue 3 big announcements for this week. Announcement number 1, the tiers contest for the Valero is open. $25,000 guaranteed. This is our standard contest. $25 entry. Somebody's going to win $3,100. We'll fill this up. No problemo. The Augusta Showdown. Ooh, what a fancy name. Is live. If you remember last year, what we did was, it was the Augusta Showdown. I think it was $150,000 guaranteed. And you could win a round of golf with John Daly and myself. That was fun. We did that. We played in Nashville. That was a lot of fun. This year, they've ramped up the guarantee, $350K. And now you can win. Let me make sure I get this right. I think they added this. A round of golf. Wait, am I included in this? It says a round of golf and 3 friends. I think I'm one of the friends. So I don't know if you get 3 or me and 2 others, or there's 5 of us, or I don't know. But you win a round of golf. Oh, at the Troon Access course of your choice. I didn't know it was of your choice. I thought Splash was going to pick. Hold on a second. That is, do you know how many good Troon courses there are? So hold on. I got to make sure I understand this right, because they just updated this. Make a paid entry into the Run Good 350K Augusta Showdown contest. Okay, so anybody who enters, and you're entered into a drawing to win a round of golf for you and 3 friends at a Troon Access course of your choosing. Okay. Well, they've already asked me if I want to go, so I will be there. I don't know if that's one of your 3 or you also get 3. In order to be eligible, okay, you also must sign up for a free Troon account. Makes sense. Okay. That's how they get theirs, right? So free Troon account, and you enter into this contest. Pretty simple. Am I missing anything else? Okay. Of your choice. Hold on a second. There's a lot of good Troon courses. First off, that one is number 3 at Monarch Beach. That would be a good one, but I wouldn't have to travel very far for that. Can we pick Hawaii? Can we play Kapalua? Who's picking this? Anyone? Any one of these courses? Hold on a second. There are some very good Troon courses. Yeah, okay. I might need some time here, because these are very good. Indian Wells, yeah, Monarch Beach. I knew it was going to be in there. Madeiras. Interesting. Okay. Yokadihi. That is in the middle of nowhere. That is a fun course. It's also in the middle of nowhere. Okay. I'm not going to run through like 500 courses, but I did not know that you guys were going to be able to pick the course of your choosing. Choose wisely, because I'll be there. And now we go to your questions. Links for everything are in the description. Hey, Rick, quick question with Pool Genius. On my pick with Bobby Mack, it doesn't have a grade. Is that suggesting to me that I should save him for a different event? Yeah, so it just means he's not one of your top options, right? So if he doesn't have a grade, he's just not. Yeah, you only have grades for what, 8 or 10 guys? So yes, it would mean that they rank him somewhere else. Either they rank him, let's see here, in a spot where, yeah, so they there's this like season planner where they would say he should be used in one of these higher tiered contests, a major, a playoff event, or a signature event. That is where they're kind of earmarking him. So you don't see him, or probably Siwoo Kim, although Siwoo's got a pretty good, let's see where Siwoo pops up. Yeah, same thing. Siwoo, yeah, so that's exactly what they're saying. It's saying you should save him. Straight up, who is your one and done this week? I've already used Tommy, and I feel like Ludwig should be saved. Bob Mack or Sepp? Yeah, I've used Sepp. Okay, you want to do the Sepp Straka deep dive? I have not used Sepp exclusively like I did for Ludwig at the Players or Morikawa the week before that, but I've used a majority of Sepp Straka. Lives out of the fairway, ball striking's great, putting's great, has a decent record here, and he is capable of winning. An event like this with a $10 million purse, I need a win. I need somebody who can win. So that's why it's like, I think I've used Sepp in most, Bob McIntyre in a couple, and like I might have done one of Jordan Spieth. I noticed that Nick Taylor wins once a year. They seem to be out of the blue. Do you have any breadcrumbs to suggest that this is the week? Well, let's look. I guess by nature, trying to figure out when he's going to win out of the blue is, I guess, a fool's errand, but let's see what we've got here. Good short game, horrible putting. That's not a great sign. Approach play has been very solid. Driving accuracy, good, very good, in fact. Not very long, not a huge issue here. History, okay. Most recent performance was better. The only issue that I'm going to have is the flat stick, although he's a pretty good historical putter. Probably not this week. Probably not. I do like the approach play. I do like the around the green stuff. The putter being that doesn't feel as great to me. So probably not. Jordan Smith, not to be confused with Jordan Spieth, has been pretty darn good. I think he's made every single cut this year. Oh, I lied. He missed the cut at the Players. He missed the cut at the Farmers. That is not true at all. He has a third place finish at the Valspar. He has a 16th in Phoenix. He has a 27th at the American Express. He's gained strokes off the tee in nearly all of them. He's gained strokes tee to green in nearly all of them. He has a wide range of outcomes with the putter, -3 to +4. So you're talking about basically a 7-shot difference there. So to me, and I think you're seeing that, high risk, high reward. He can miss the cut. He can finish third. He can finish 44th. He can finish 16th, right? You're seeing a lot of that volatility, and the fact that he's got this huge deviation or delta. Did I use that word correctly? Between his best putting and his worst putting matches up with that as well. Struggle weighing course history if it includes performances from 5 or more years. Thoughts on creating something like course history recency weighted. Oh, yeah, I guess that would be pretty simple to do. If you want to just look at, so yes, I understand what you're saying. So yeah, you weigh the most recent one, whatever, 50, the next one, 40, next one, 30, you know what I mean? Whatever it ends up being. If you do want to look at so a couple ways you could do this. You could just do everybody at this course over the last 5 years or so. So TPC San Antonio, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. And then you could put a minimum in. So they've had to have played, let's say, at least 3 times. Spieth is 1, McCarthy's 2, Kuchar 3, Glover 4, Mitchell 5. Are there any specific metrics that you find best cut makers for DFS? I like, my personal favorite is going to the power rankings, going to the strokes gain distribution, opening it up to about 100 rounds or so, and then sorting by how often golfers gain either just strokes to the field or 1 or more strokes to the field. If you beat the field every round or the first 2 rounds, you're going to make the cut, each of the first 2 rounds. So guys that are in that realm that are not your top players would be like Johnny Kiefer, Austin Smotherman. Those are mostly Korn Ferry Tour stats. Thorbjorn Olesen would be a good one. Ricky Castillo would be a good one. You could also, in theory, go to the custom model and put your weights on round 1 relative and round 2 relative, which this would also show you basically, are you good and are you good compared to yourself? Right? So S.H. Kim, Davis Chatfield, Bo Hostler, Ludwig Oberg, Jesper Svensson, these guys are better than themselves on round 1, round 2. They get worse as the week goes on. Hopefully you're used. Oh boy. Man, I was ready to pat you on the back. You don't need to pat yourself on the back. It says, hopefully you used Burgoon last week in DFS from my recommendation. Oh, no, I didn't. Actually, it was great. This week, I'm looking for a deep dive of S.H. Kim. Been all over the map this year, but this place maybe catches his eye. Let's look. Do I have him in here as S.H. Kim? Yes. It's got a great swing. If you ever get a chance to see it in person, it is very fun. Played in Houston, missed the cut horribly, lost 5 strokes from tee to green. Played the Valspar, played great, picked up 4 strokes from tee to green. Played the Players, missed the cut, -4.3. Oh, mama. All right. We are, oh my gosh, all over the yard. Even his 2 runs here, which were both basically identical finishes, 15th and 14th. One, he lost 2.5 strokes from tee to green and gained 8 with the putter. The other one, he gained 5 from tee to green and 2 with the putter. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? This is throw him in with Jordan Spieth. Oh, God. Jordan Smith. I knew I was going to do that. This guy might be even more volatile than him. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know why this would be a good spot for him other than he's a pretty good total driver. He's played well here before, but in two very, very different ways. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here. But man, this could go very wrong. Should I target guys that aren't qualified for the Masters? The thinking is that qualified players are looking to tune their game as opposed to trying to win. I think that is a little generous. I think that if, Tommy Fleetwood is here to play great golf, and you know what is the best tune-up for the Masters? Going and winning, right? I don't think guys are doing anything out of the ordinary because the Masters is next week in terms of how they're going to play this golf course. Like I said, the best tune-up is win by like 9 shots and just feel as great as you possibly could with your game going into next week. 6 out of 6 career cuts made. 2 were top 10. 4 were top 20. 4 out of 6 were top 20. Can we really consider using Snedeker this week? So it's funny. If you watch the Monday video, I did a very out of the box model. And number 1 and number 2 were Snedeker and Matt Kuchar. I wanted to just burn my computer. It was obviously very heavily weighed on course history and short game and accuracy off the tee. So in that sense, if you are ever going to play Snedeker or Kuchar, it is right now. I'm not thrilled about it, but there's probably no other place you're playing those guys with any sense of confidence. The T18 last week, while very good, should have been a lot better. He was miserable on Sunday. He was the worst player in the field on Sunday. And, it should have been like at least a T3. Yes, I've played both of those guys. Between Bobby Mack, Spieth, and Sepp in one and done, feel like each one can pull it up, but who is the least volatile? Sepp. Spieth feels like the safest with his history. No. I think this very much depends on your position. If you're front running, you can play Spieth. If you are in the middle, you can play Sepp. If you need to make up ground, you can play Bobby Mack. Could you rank Straka, McIntyre, and McNeely for one and done? The order that you have them in. Any shot at past champion JJ Spawn getting a T10? I doubt it. We'll pull it up together, but I am going to doubt it. If it's what I think it is, it's not very nice, which is what it says on his shirt. Yeah, it's not. I use this word a lot, but he is literally hemorrhaging strokes on the putting surface. The guy was fantastic last year on the greens. He's got no clue what's going on. He's probably the worst putter in this field. I'm probably not exaggerating there. Let me get my items in order here. Here he is. He's losing 0.87 strokes putting per round. There are actually guys who are worse. Wow. Although Rozo is probably only oh my gosh, that's bad. Yeah, but it's very, very bad. The other guys are basically min priced. Thoughts on McNeely this week? I think McNeely's going to be decently popular. He's just such like one of the best tier B players, and if you're kind of in one of these B tier events, it makes sense to play him, right? You could argue Sepp Straka's won a signature event, save him. You could argue McIntyre's won, a couple of national opens, save him. So I actually think that's why McNeely's going to be pretty popular. I wish he was hitting it better on the second shots. The putter's cooled off a little bit, but his history here has been great, and I do put a pretty big chunk on course history. I would say I'm like a 7 out of 10 on McNeely. He's not my favorite, but he's definitely inside the top 7 or 8 guys that I'd be excited to play. Highest floor, lowest ceiling between Mitchell and Straka. Keith Mitchell has the lowest floor, lowest ceiling. Straka has the highest floor, highest ceiling. I think Straka, again, I always think this is so funny. And we finally have an event where Keith Mitchell is like, should play well. But the number of questions that come about Keith Mitchell on a weekly basis for a guy who is like the 57th best player in the world is outrageous. This is actually the spot to play him, right? 26th or better in his last 4 trips here. All of them are getting better. He drives it really well. The putter is still a problem, but it's always been a problem. Still looking for his first win. So I don't know how we could say like, oh, he's got a, a high ceiling or whatever. Or I guess I'm sorry. He won the Cognizant in 2019. Still looking for his first win in the last 7 years. Sepp Straka won twice? Was that last year he won twice? Yeah, I mean, I think Straka, if they played 1,000 times, Straka beats him a ton. Am I crazy to think that Russell Henley's flying under the radar? Let's look. I think he's going to be, what's my projected ownership? 20% probably? 21%. I don't think he's flying under the radar. I think he's flying perfectly in the radar. If calmer conditions during the first part of the tournament and windy on Friday to Sunday, would you put more weight towards around the green or approach and greens in regulation? So I would probably just double down on around the green. The around the green is already very highly correlated to success here. And if you do get kind of windier conditions, that might help the 5 guys that can really flush it. But for everybody else in the field, it is probably just going to mean they're going to have more short game shots. Tommy and Noren or Bobby, Mack, and Decky. Tommy and Noren or Bobby, Mack, and Decky. That's a good one. That's a good one. A touch, a hair to Tommy and Noren. Deep dive on John Perry. In this field, a middling golfer. A guy who is likely to finish between 35th and 50th, which is what he's done for the vast majority of the year, with no real consistent skill sets. Finds a way to get the ball in the hole, doesn't do anything great, doesn't even do anything all that well, doesn't do anything horribly. Probably finishes 37th. Where did Paul Waring come from last week? Round of his life. Yeah, listen, it happens, right? I mean, guys shoot the round of their life. And if you do it in the first round, it ends up being a first round leader. Let me run this model here for Ronnie. So custom model, rickrungood.com. What did I do with it? Oh, before I get there, because I don't have it up. If you have not seen the Showdown cheat sheet that I put out a couple of weeks ago, it is fantastic. So this is from Houston. So this update's live, but this is from last week. So you've got all the pertinent stats here that update live. You've got the skill quadrants that you can expand and see how guys are playing. Okay. You've got the bounce back candidates with their scores all in there. When you hover over a player, they get highlighted on those quadrants. You can look at strokes gained as an average, as a total, as a rank, as a value versus expectation, or you can go to more stats and add any stats that you want. Like maybe you want to see driving distance and driving accuracy and proximity to the hole and scrambling and stand safe percentage. Sick. All sortable. Oh, do you want to filter by group so you can follow a 3-ball? Yeah, click that. Oh, you want to filter by USA because you have a top American bet? Oh, mama. Okay, I'll just do that. All right, enough of that. But let me go to the custom model here. This is Ronnie's model. Ronnie says last 36 rounds. Okay, Ronnie. 25 on strokes gained approach. 15 on strokes gained tee to green. 10 on par 5 birdie or par. I don't know if that was par 5 or par 5 birdie or better. 10 on putting Poana. 10 on putting inside 10. 10 on bogey avoidance. Oh, you're making my brain hurt. 10 on course history. What am I missing? Why does that only add up to 90? TPC San Antonio. 25 and 15 is 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. You only gave me 90. Oh, crap. All right. We'll just put the last 10 on strokes gained total. This is Ronnie's incomplete model. Tommy Fleetwood, Hideki Matsuyama, Siwoo Kim, Russell Henley, Sudarshan Yelamaraju, Ryo Hisatsune, Christian Bezadenhout, JJ Spawn, Nick Taylor, Mac Meisner. If strokes gained approach is important here, is it a Joel Damon week? I do think it is more of a Joel Damon week than other weeks. There's a benefit to playing out of the fairway. There's a benefit to being better than your peers on approach play. Those are two things he does very well. The other problem is there is an even bigger benefit in the short game categories. Strokes gained around the green, highest correlated stat to success, ranked wise. The next 4 or 5 are all putting. So, boy, we're going to need that whole right-hand side to fix itself. Yeah. Any thoughts on Noren, Grazerman, Yelamaraju, Burgoon? Bullish on Yelamaraju, though probably not as much as last week or the week before. Which is I love the way he finished that. I don't think this is as good of a spot for him. Let me look up Grazerman. Did he find anything off the tee last week? Tell me yes. Okay. Is he even in the field this week? Did he get in? Burgoon is probably the one who's playing the best golf. Consistently, I think I mentioned this on Twitter. Like, look at his finishes. 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 15th, 15th, 16th. That's his last 7. It's awesome. Can Alex Noren win? I mean, yeah, but probably not. You know, he won, twice last year late? Yeah, in the fall of last year on the DP World Tour. Had to run at the Hero. He's not going to win. It is just a coincidence that the last 2 have been lefties. Siwoo and one and done, better to save him. Yeah, probably save him for the Wyndham. You could play him here, but I'd probably save him for the Wyndham. If you do want to look, you could always go like this. You could always go to the Holy Grail course horses and then search for Siwoo himself, and it'll show you all of his best courses. So you could play him at Craig Ranch. You could play him here. You're probably not going to play him at Muirfield Village because it's a signature event. You could play him at Sedgefield. Probably not going to play him at Augusta National. So those would be the 3 spots left, I think. You could play him at TPC River. Nah, probably not. So either here, Craig Ranch, or Sedgefield. If you were only going to include one putting category, what would it be? Strokes gained putting. Do you like Smalley or Rogers in the final DFS spot? Let me look up Smalley real quick. I have an idea of what Rogers has been up to. Let me look up Smalley really quick. Ooh. Are you trying to win all the money or some of the money? I think if you're trying to win all the money, it's probably Smalley. If you're trying to win some of the money, it's probably Rogers. And what I mean by that is Rogers has the higher floor, lower ceiling. Smalley has the lower floor, higher ceiling. Smalley's game, 2 or more strokes gained approach in 3 of his last 4. The putter has like a 10-shot gap between best and worst, which is insane. So you could get a very high finish or you could get a very low finish. So I think it depends on what you want. I probably like to win all of the money, and I would go with Smalley. How would you rank the guys, not including Nick Taylor, between 8,000 and 8,500? Okay. 8,000 and 8,500, huh? So not including Nick Taylor. So this is only 5 other golfers. I would rank them Ryo Hisatsune. Ryo Hisatsune is actually probably how you say it. It's very close. Keith, Denny, Sudarshan, Kiefer is how I would rank them. It's pretty close though. They're all decent options. Hola, señor Run Good. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy bien y tú? Gracias. Your phenomenal newsletter, free to subscribe. It is. You note 6 golfers with the best odds that have qualified for the Master, that have not qualified for the Masters. That's right, I did. Who would be the 6th? Oh, well, let me look. Probably, is Noren in? Is Noren in the field next week? He is. What about JJ's in? Is Keith in? Did I mention? I think Keith was on that. Keith was on that list. It's probably. Did Kiefer get in? Might be Kiefer. Is Kiefer in? Johnny Kiefer. How would he have gotten in? How would they know? He is in. How did he get in? Some amateur thing? God, this was harder than I thought. I don't have the list anymore. That's why this is so difficult for me. Penge? Is Penge in? Olison? I don't know. I don't know who's not in. Thanks for reading the newsletter, though. Who are the best win players in the field? Normally, I would jump through my screen and strangle this person. But I do have the data. The proper data. So let's do a variety of things. First off, I need to clear. I've got so many filters on. All right. Let's open this up. We need some multiple years of data, I assume, because wind is wind, right? We're going to go everybody in this field. Moderate or strong wind. How about that? Oh, nope. Sorry. Tommy Fleetwood, Alex Noren. Pfft, obviously, Ryder Cuppers. Russell Henley, Tommy Fleetwood, Denny McCarthy, Hideki Matsuyama, Jordan Spieth, Lucas Glover. Now, if you look at just stroke gained approach, actually, let's do ball strike. I feel like that's the stuff that's more wind impactful. Hoey, Clanton, Shipley's there. He only has 28 rounds, though. Doug Gim, Johnny Vegas, Will Zalatoris, Keith Mitchell. For Rick Rungood, one and done, who do you like most for someone who's just outside the money? Sepp. Let's say you're trying to stack top golfers and you have to dip down in the 6K range. Who are your favorite players? Yeah, okay. So favorite 6K players. So the guys who modeled the best for me were Kuchar, Snedeker, and Streelman. They get a big bump because of the course history. The other ones would be Burgoon, who I think might just be the best player in the 6K range right now. Boshu, I don't mind. He's very talented. He seems close to trying to figure it out. The lowest I would go is probably I'm a sucker for Shipley, so don't take that. It is probably Boshu, 6,400. I think that's the lowest I'd go. And Snedeker, 6,400 as well. I'm skipping all the like Sepp Straka, Robert McIntyre one and done questions. Like, yes, I like both those guys. I would prefer Sepp over McIntyre. Can we get a deep dive on the Barista? Sure. $6,800, losing strokes off the tee consistently, stout short game player, couple of okay results, nothing splendid, hasn't played a whole lot. He played majority of his stuff in March, played 4 times in March. History here is a mixed bag. Always loses strokes on approach, which is not that uncommon. Yeah, doesn't seem like a great spot for him. I'm 184th and you're one and done. Wow. Should I pick Siwoo, Spieth, or Rio? Ooh, you might be a Spieth guy this week. Yeah, I think that's right. How do I look up the best strokes gained in majors over the last 2 years? Go to the Holy Grail. Go to tournaments. Hold on. Get rid of wind. Hold control and select 2025 and 2024. And then click majors. And there you have it. So let's put a minimum of 4 starts in. Scotty, Xander, Bryson, Billy. Although I think those are all from 2 years ago. Oh, no. Played the Masters last year. 3 in 2024. Rory, Norin, Morikawa, Henley, Connors, etc., etc. My betting card, which you should not follow. Don't spend your money how I spend my money. I'm getting a tax refund. I'm going to blow that cash. So don't spend your money the way I spend it. But I only have 2 outrights. They're Robert McIntyre at 18-1 and Sepp Straka at 27-1. I then have the larger finishing position stuff is a very nervous Thor Bjornsson at top 20. Thorbjorn Olesen, 2 different guys there, top 20, and a William Mao Chicka Mao at top 40. Is there any way to show the longest streak of complete gains? No, not right now. I'd have to pull like an Excel spreadsheet and do that, but that's interesting. Longest active streak of complete gains, which is where you gain strokes in all 4 major categories. No, but I'm just not going to do it right now. If I play 150 lineups, am I crazy to play 18 each of Crockett, Strillman, and Ramey? Yes, probably. Hope I'm not a bother. I honestly don't know what I'm looking at when we talk about Pontus Nyholm with 3 of his last 4 starts finishing inside the top 15. Okay. Yeah, really bad start to the year, right? Which makes sense. Trying to get his feet underneath him coming up from the Corn Ferry. Very inaccurate off the tee. Like maybe dead last in driving accuracy. He's also maybe dead last in big misses. He misses massive. Which makes sense considering this actually doesn't make all that much sense at all. This man is a 121 mile an hour club head speed guy, which is very fast. He sprays it more than anybody, misses and big misses. And he's not even that long off the tee. He's only 55th off the tee. Do you know what that means? I'll tell you exactly what it means. He is not even, he's not finding the center of the club face. Because if you had a 148 smash factor, 1.48 times 121, which would be a 179 ball speed. Yeah. So this is crazy. He probably never hits the center of the club face. He's not getting enough at 295 yards out of his 121 mile an hour club head speed. So he's not hitting, his smash must stink. Doesn't make enough birdies. Massive misses all over the place. It's pretty good from like inside 100 yards, but yeah, I think you're going to need a little bit more than just driving distance this week. I live in South Africa. No, I live in San Antonio, and it's going to rain. Okay, we did that, but thank you for just stay dry out there. Is there a way to make the website throughout dark mode? Maybe soon. I would love to, but it's a whole thing. Pre-tournament head heart money and Mina's pick. Mina will tell me her pick. So my head says Sepp wins this thing. My heart says Ricky wins, right? That would be cool. That would be like, you know, him getting into the Masters. I think he's played really well this year. That would be fine. And then my money, either Robert or Sepp would be just fine by me. Sepp would be the best because I'm playing him in so many of the one and dones. How essential is accuracy this week compared to most? Pretty essential. The other thing is, especially compared to last week, it's like very essential, right? You're not going to hit a lot of fairways, so if you can, it's a big advantage. If you can hit the greens because you're playing out of the fairway, it is a big advantage. I think you need to play out of the fairway. Dude, Twitter does stink. Twitter does stink. It's so bad now. Nothing ever works. Like the search doesn't work. Tagging doesn't work. Links don't work. Twitter used to be so good. Twitter stinks now. It is a cesspool of bots. If you click on any one tweet, you are now force fed like 900 of that thing. It's bad. The check marks don't mean anything, so you have no idea who is who. If you like bought Twitter and were like, how could I just make this the worst product ever? That's just exactly what they did. It's crazy. The leverage March Madness bracket is top tier. One brutal turnover from being beyond elite. So I saw this comment a couple times. I want to make an argument about this. So if you're following along with my bracket, we are crushing it, but we still have work to do. So we're at 98.9%. We would have had the perfect Final Four if Duke beat UConn. Is that what it was? Yes. And UConn obviously had that great comeback and all that stuff. I would argue that as cool as it would be to have the perfect Final Four, this is actually better for us. Because now the most selected champion is out. Okay, so we don't run the risk of that anymore. Our main objective is to get Michigan across the finish line. And the better path to do that is without Duke existing. And there are just nobody else can get Duke points anymore. 30% of the field cannot get Duke Final Four points, Final Four points, and they can't get national championship points. So as cool as it would have been to have the perfect Final Four here, I actually think this is better for us. A lot of brackets, depending on what group you're in, if Michigan beats Arizona, you're going to win your bracket, even if they don't win the whole thing. There's a few that might have UConn winning it all, but if we can get this win on Saturday night, this is going to be like a 99.9% bracket, I think. And if they go on to win it, it's going to be massive. It's going to be the best one we ever did. So if Michigan, we just need our best case scenario is Michigan beats Illinois in the finals. That is our best case scenario. I'm in a group right now. This one's 128 people, just like friends. We're in second, but we have, I believe, the best chance of winning, second best chance of winning. But it's going to come down to this. It's going to come down to who, like, if Michigan wins it all, we've got it. Oh, I'm sorry. We have the second best chance, but the other person has Arizona winning it all, which we would take advantage of. So, yeah, this is a great spot to be. We just need 2 more games. Michigan win 2 more games and we're good. If you look past Novak's 7 strokes lost putting last time out, I think he's a real dark horse. Yeah, if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bicycle, right? I mean, that's a big if. Let's take a gander. I'm on the record countless times saying Andrew Novak is the most difficult guy to handicap because you are going to get weeks where he looks like the best player in the world and weeks where he looks like the worst player in the world. And you never have any idea when they're coming. You can go for it. If he finishes inside the top 10, talk about leverage. You're going to have a ton of leverage. I have no idea what Andrew Novak is going to do. And anybody telling you different is lying. What do you think of ADDC as the last man in? Good approach player, drives it okay. Not the most accurate, but not wild either. Yeah, he popped up on something for me. What would that have been? I mean, he's pretty inaccurate. Let's just throw that out there. He's pretty inaccurate. The good news is his iron play is better from the ranges that we want them to be for this week. Yeah, I would be okay with this. He's a little more popular than I would like for 7,100, but I'm okay with that. Has Noren really been top 5 total strokes gained last 36, or am I being misinformed? I imagine it's just including all the Euro stuff, right? So he's got the Euro win, runner-up at the Hero, 17th and 16th. Even his recent stuff, it's not. I mean, they're plus 3.5, plus 5, plus 1, plus 3.6. Yeah, that would make sense. Rick, you're the GOAT. No. You're the GOAT. Thank you, though. No. Your model a month ago was 100% correct on Nico. This one is Jordan Smith trending. So I think you're talking about this. I think you're talking about the tournament predictor, which I think had Sepp pretty high. Russell Henley, I think, was pretty high. Yeah. So this is the tournament predictor. This simulates the results of the event 10,000 times. And I feel like I had to redo it 10,000 times this week because of so many WDs and stuff. But Russell Henley won my sim 9% of the time, which is the most. Ludwig won it 6.8. Sepp won it 6.4. Tommy and Hideki won it 5.5% of the time. Maverick won it 4.9, et cetera, right? So that means like your values on those three at the top, Henley, Ludwig, Sepp, a little bit on Hideki, Mav, and Thorbjornsen, a little bit on Harman, down the board. These are much longer shots now, but you get the idea here. Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty fun. I think Hisatsune can win. I do. So I don't know if we did the Denny deep dive. I might have talked about him on Monday or whatever, but here's the thing. Denny is a streaky iron player. You can go back and look at this over and over again. He will be good with his irons for 3 or 4 starts, and then he'll lose for like 8. And then he'll be good for 3 or 4, and he'll lose for 6. And he'll be good for 3 and 4, whatever. We're in one of those stretches now. I don't know when it's going to stop, but he's been good for 3. Very good course for him. Obviously a very good putter. I'm rolling with Denny. Majors one and done look ahead. What's your strategy for live golfers? Probably wait. I think Bryson's going to be fine at Augusta, but I also think he's going to be pretty popular. I think Jon Rahm's going to be pretty popular. Also, I'm not completely sold that Bryson has figured out Augusta. Maybe he has. I will probably just wait on those guys. Maybe Rahm at the Open, and maybe Bryson at Aronimink is probably how I would do it, and let 30% use each one of those guys next week. We'll see. We'll have, if we can get a better idea of how popular they're going to be. I would kind of love to use Rahm next week, but we'll see. I think I've got my finger on a lot of these questions already. Not choosing a course in Hawaii is minus EV. Agreed. Can we just agree on whoever wins this Troon thing, we just play in Hawaii? Can we just agree on that right now? Overall thoughts on... Oh, okay. I'll just say it. What were the cryptic conversations with Mark around whoever Patrick McDonald is dating? Patrick McDonald is dating... I guess it's Claire Rogers. Okay. She's golf media. They're great. We had dinner with them in, Augusta. That was the cryptic thing, but I don't think they had hard launched yet. So that was why it was so cryptic. Overall thoughts on Willie Z. Overall, wait and see, right? I haven't seen enough good. I haven't seen enough okay. I kind of have an idea of what's in there, but it's just not ready yet. If his name was anything other than Will Zalatoris and I didn't have his, major championship record and all that stuff, it's just not, it's just not it. So my general thoughts are wait and see. What golfers in the upper quartile would what golfers in the upper quartile of the odds board would you fade? Hideki. Nothing against him. Maverick McNeely. Thorpe Bjornsson. Spawn. Norin. Mitchell. Yeah. I need 2 players to round out my lineup. Kiefer and Smith or Hisatsune. And McGreevy. Rio and McGreevy. Need 5 golfers. Oh, God. Need 5 golfers that would provide great odds, but likely to make the cut for my make the cut parlay. It's just absolutely like puts me in a horrible situation, right? Like, if they're likely to make the cut, they're probably not going to have great odds to make the cut. And then we're going to pick 5 of them and parlay them together. Sure. Okay. This is, we're lighting this ticket on fire, right? Okay. So here's the 5 we're going to light on fire. Finau, Mao, Putnam, Burgoon, Snedeker. God. I find myself so interested in the segments. I almost forget there are huge prizes waiting. Yeah, listen, the segments are big. Who are the tallest players in the field? Is Christo Lamprecht in this field? He's like 1,000 feet tall. He is. Hold on a second. Christo Lamprecht is, do I have it? 6'8". Isn't that crazy? He's not going to get blown over by the wind. What's up, Rick? If you had to choose 2 golfers, one from the AM and one from the PM, who would you choose? Okay. So you can make lineups based on waves if you want. I would choose. So I get 2 from AM, 2 from PM. Give me. Can I just pick Siwoo and Tommy from the morning? Or do I have to get like creative? Okay, Siwoo and Tommy from the morning. Or where's Sepp? Okay, and then Sepp and Bob Mack. I guess that was kind of boring. I'm picking Rio over Thorpe Bjornsson. I do not think there's a lefty bias here. Did Snedeker pop in any one of your other models? Not particularly. Course history and short game is where he pops. The Showdown cheat sheet has won me a lot of money. I've heard that a lot, actually. Thank you. Is there a way to look at every tournament's previous winners to see their stats? Yeah. Go to the Holy Grail. Go to open the filter up. Click winners instead of majors. And then do however many years you want, right? Maybe all of them. And then do tournament for, what is this? Valero. And then scroll down. Sort by date, maybe. And then you can see it all like that, right? Just like that. Brian Harmon. 6 strokes gained on approach. Akshay Bhatia, 8. Yada, yada, yada. Yes. Yeah, first round leaders this week. You skipped me. Yeah, because you said like first round leaders. Give me 3. It's like, that's kind of messed up. And now you're begging again. So now I'm just going to skip it again. I'm in the market. So it says, are you going to add ownership to the show for Showdown slate? No, but I think I am soon. I haven't done it because I haven't wanted to. I wanted to be like confident. I wanted to be a good product, and I wasn't convinced I had a good product. But I think I'm close. All right, I'll circle back. I'm just messing with you, Sean, but I'll circle back on this because I'll also I'll lump it into this with the first round leaders thing. So if I was going to find 3 or 4 candidates for a first round leader, I think there's a couple things I would do first. I would go to the custom model. I would clear out whatever weights I have in here. I would run a lot of first round upside stuff. So I would actually probably do like 15 strokes gain round 1, 15 strokes gain round 2. There's really not that much of a difference between those two things. 15 on round 1, round 2 relative. Then I would do strokes gain 3 and 4. Or I'm sorry, 4 and 5 for 15, 15. And then I would put my last 10 on San Antonio. This is like what I would actually do if I was going to run a model on this. And you'd get like Ludwig, Spieth, Svensson, S.H. Kim, Thor Bjornsson, Tommy Fleetwood, etc. So then I would look through this and I'd be like, all right, if I was looking for a morning guy, like S.H. Kim, who we already identified as one of like the biggest ranges of outcomes of tee to green, like S.H. Kim would absolutely be one. If you are okay, you know, a lot of people just like to get the 50, 60, 70 to 1. Like if you're okay going shorter than that, I think Thor Bjornsson is kind of interesting in smaller bits this week. You could go Dan Brown, Hisatsuna. I mean, Danny McCarthy, great putter, can get hot. Keith Mitchell, obviously. Like, that's kind of the place that I would go. Sitting in the top, oh man. I love Yellow Mirage as much as anybody, but if you're sitting in the top 10 of a one and done and your options are Russell Henley or Sudarshan Yellow Mirage, you should probably pick the guy who's like the 5th best player in the world instead of the guy who's like the 155th best player in the world. So maybe Russell Henley here. I love Sudarshan, but that is crazy talk. Thoughts on Putnam? Yes, he beat Putnam. Yes, I think I might have talked about this on Monday. This is basically the only course for him. Accurate. I think he's got decent history here. Short game is stout. Yeah, it's okay stuff here. Putnam's in a good spot. A Masters Challenge. Pick 10 players in the field, no salaries or groups. How should I approach this? Group of roughly 50 or 100 people. Well, you should probably just not pick the top 10 players, but you should probably identify like 2 guys that you think you are going to be higher on than everybody else for some reason. So if this were me, like I'm probably, playing, Scotty and Ludwig and Rahm, like, what I mean? Like I'm probably doing that, but I'm also probably making sure, how casual is this group? Like, is Cam Young going to be a surprise for people? Like Justin Rose might be on my list, but I'd probably identify like 2 guys, maybe Russell Henley, who has a great record at Augusta. That, like, I don't think Russell Henley is going to be very popular in that format at all. And then maybe I'd identify, like, Akshay, I think could actually be a pretty good one. So I'd identify 1 or 2 guys like that. Maybe Adam Scott, for example. And then I'd probably be pretty chalky also otherwise. I'd probably just rip, Scotty, Ludwig, Rory, Rahm, maybe Bryson, Tommy, Cam Young, Fitzy. Yeah, I'd probably just do that. See what happens. This says, is there enough data to support guys who have shown better form playing in the wind? There's data. It's accurate data. I tend to think it's mostly noise. I've just been my soapbox issue for a long time. I'm not too worried about it. The other thing is, like, flushers are always great in the wind. I don't know. I hope Michigan doesn't stank. Lonto Griffin just got put in the field. Hasn't missed a cut here. Putts well on POA. Plays well in tough conditions. Any thoughts with no form? Let's look. Lanto. So played well at the Club Car, which was the Corn Ferry Tour event last week. Missed the cut with for 4 straight prior to that, but he's only played 5 times this year. Oof. He's got to be dirt cheap, right? 6,300. The 6K range is bad enough to consider this, right? Well, the 6K range is like Snedeker, Kuchar, Shipley. It is bad enough to consider Lanto Griffin. So sure. Thoughts on Suber? I always confuse Jackson Suber and Jackson Koivin. I do know that they're 2 different players now, but I used to always. Yikes. Not great. Flushed it last week, but there's not a lot of evidence that that's happening again. Not for me. I thought I might have said this earlier. I don't know if I gave him the full deep dive. I'm in on Thorbjorn Olesen. I've wrote him up this week. I have a top 20 on him. I don't know if I did the deep dive or not, but love the way he's hitting it. I know that he's a loser with the putter, but I also know that he's been a loser with the putter here twice, and he's got good finishes in both of those. So he doesn't need it. It would be a bonus, which kind of makes me happy. Yes, I think Finau is too much of a stretch. If you're trying to make up ground in a one and done, I think your best option is like, before I just throw out a random name. I think your best option is like Fowler or not Fowler. Maybe Fowler. Fowler or Denny or Rio? Or no, I'm sorry. It's Robert McIntyre. Sorry. My brain. Not agreed about Hawaii. I think we need to pick a course in either Delaware or North Dakota. Come on. No. Please no. Any new hats? What's your favorite apparel lately, comfort-wise? I have been trying to just declutter so much. I've been trying to get more out than in. But I will tell you, I've been on and I'm trying not to buy a hat everywhere I go. So I seriously don't know if anybody's interested in this, but I have at least 50 hats in this closet that are either never worn or lightly worn. They're mostly like Travis Matthew flex fits and other things. If anybody wants them and just wants to give me $10 to ship them, I'll ship them out to you because they're just going to sit there. Seriously, if anybody wants them, just like email me. If a lot of people email me, I'll have to figure it out. But I just need to. So I'm trying to get rid of stuff. I've got also, if you're size small in a Travis Matthew polo, I'll send you 50. All right. I've been wearing Uniqlo. Uniqlo, dude. It's like, I like the way it fits. I like the way it feels. It's like not that expensive. It's high quality. I like it. Do I have a Splash referral code? I think I do. I think it's Run Good. Try that. Who do you trust more to make the cut this week? Finau. No, I'm sorry. Homa. Y'all see Bryson get honked at on his YouTube channel? What does that mean? Like a car horn or like something sexual? I guess maybe just a car horn. Sepp is best win player. How tall is he? He's not super tall, but he's stout. Can we do a deep dive on Tom Kim? Yes. Let me see what hats you have. It's not like a shopping thing. You're just going to take my word for it. They're just like golf hats. Like, they're just regular golf hats. Nothing like weird. Can you do I'm gonna do like I could do one of those like you ever see like on like Amazon Live or whatever like TikTok they're like, oh, here's the problem, like 3 seconds, like throw it to the side, like the next one comes, oh, fits good, I'll throw it to the side. I guess I could do that. Tom Kim. All right, I'll show you the hat. God, I feel bad when I make fun of people. Tom Kim. Very accurate. Games rounded. Yeah, all right. I don't know how we're going to use him, but he's only $7,200. Yeah, I like Tom Kim. Not great. All right. Well, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go grab like just stay here for like 10 seconds. I'm gonna grab a bunch of hats. Let's see what we have. So stupid. This is so stupid. All right. This is a Monarch Beach golf hat with a butterfly. This is a 904 Ponte Vedra hat. That's never been worn. Desert Willow. Never been worn. Blue Travis Matthew. That's been worn. This is actually a great hat. Green Travis Matthew. This is still has the tags on it. Royal Adelaide. Travis Matthew. Royal Melbourne. Travis Matthew. Arizona. This is a hat from Back to the Future, the musical. It's been worn once. Black Travis Matthew, worn once. Here's a Yukon Swingin' Husky. Swingin' Jonathan, worn once. This is the greatest collaboration between two brands. Travis Matthew, LA Dodgers. This is, I mean, this looks brand new. This is a 2023 green Ryder Cup hat, never been worn. This is a TPC Summerlin hat that I have worn. Okay? That's like 10% of them. I've got 300 more. So just email me, I guess. All right. I guess I'm going to end on the hat thing. So. Here's the deal. So next week is the Masters. Monday will be the preview. No, I'm not going to do it early. Rick, can you do it early? No, I'm going to do it on Monday. I'm going to wait for the outcome of this event, and then I'm going to do it. Tuesday will be the live chat. Then I'm traveling to Augusta. Then I will be back, and we will see what happens after that. All right. I love you all very much. I'll see you later. Goodbye.